All right, while we are waiting for the heads of authority to come and talk to us, I want you to pay attention to this piece of information that have been circulating the internet regarding the disappointment and the way forward. Listen very carefully and see how this information can be of help to you. The one that is good, take it. The one that is bad, throw it away. We're only here to bring you information. Subscribe to the update and let's continue this conversation on way forward.
And I want to pass a comment precisely on a particular submission by one Mr. Waju. It has a lot to say concerning our expectation, and there is a need for redefining the course and trying to chart the way forward, and trying to adjust one or two things based on what he said pertaining to that particular submission, which I could actually hinge on fear from what he had done before and possibly what is happening to him right now because of the grant. All right, so I'm going to read his message for us, then I'll pass my extensive comment on that and possible solution, or what we as beneficiaries should stand on when it comes to issues of this nature. It might not be just only him that this is affecting, but every other person can also learn from this and get the better deal on how to go about the particular interest right now. All right, so we got that message from Mr. Waju on one of the channels of information we get, and it says, if Ambassador Ken Nwakama, Ambassador Theophilus Eboyi, Reverend Elomama of Therapicom, and Mama Supreme, then the AGPGN leaders should be removed from any arrangement done. All right, he said, if these four leaders, in other words, Ken, Theophilus, Elomama, and Mama Supreme, if the four of them cannot come together to form a united alliance to process out this said fund, if at all there is, according to him, he said, trust me, we are all on a long dream that will never come to pass. And he beat his chest and said, Nami Tokam, Honorable Waju. He also said, I know I'm not supposed to leak this secret, but this is the simple truth. All right, and it was also said that that it was Waju that posted it on a platform, and the person that was reporting that's Mr. Promise Gilbert, said, I feel he's already troubled as per the huge sum of money he collected from NGOs for grant registration. Now that disbursement has not happened, people are already asking him to refund their money. He was asking everyone to forgive him, that he knows he has hurt them and that he cannot pay them back. Now you could get the angle I'm coming from and possibly where I could be heading to. It was said that the grant is free. So if he had collected money for this grant, that is his business. And just to have a couple of individuals too who did that, who collected huge sum of money from persons, not to say that the grant will not be disbursed, but they never expected it's going to take this long time for it to be disbursed, or it's going to happen like this. Nobody preempted this, that we still have to be waiting right now for what we subscribed for. So, but for those who have really collected money, huge sum of money, and they are being disturbed right now, then because he's been disturbed, he now feels that the four names that he mentioned should form a coalition in a way that should avert some impending issues or be able to bring out the fund easily enough or quick enough. But since they are possibly on their own right now, so he felt like we are going to be sitting on a long dream which possibly might not materialize at a time like this. But if I could really address these specifics, that statement made by Mr. Waju needs to form a coalition for the grant funds to materialize, and needing a collaboration is a key in ensuring a success precisely on a large scale project. But it is crucial to understand that nuances of grant disbursement processes and realities beside or behind such claims are quite sacrosanct. Now, grant disbursement, especially for significant funds like the UAAG grant under the Sanctuary World Multipurpose NGO, involves a series of structured and regulated steps, and he might not understand, or he might not know, that these grants need first, I'm going to break them down into pieces. It needs first approval. It also needs document and verification. Then it also needs execution, that's disbursement execution. Now, when we say grant approval, it involves you being able to secure approval from all the necessary authorities, and they must ensure that compliance with financial regulations are being expedited, or they must be in place. That is how to seek approval. You must ensure that you secure approval from all the necessary authorities and ensure compliance with financial regulations. That's the first one. The second thing that is expected is that there should be a verification of documents. The beneficiaries and processes must actually meet all the outlined criteria, including identity verification and also project feasibility assessments. Without this, you can't pass through the next stage. It definitely will jack a rock somewhere. The third port of call there has to do with the execution of disbursement. Now, once the prerequisites are met, all of this foresaid, once they are met, the funds are processed and they are disbursed through designated channels. Now, we are at that stage right now. These processes are often governed by protocols that are actually beyond the control of individual personalities, no matter their influence or involvement. Now, he's calling personalities out, the likes of Elomama, the likes of Mama Supreme, the likes of Apostle Ken and Theobarth. He's calling them out like they should form a coalition. But the prerequisites that we talk about are beyond these protocols, these government protocols. They are beyond different personalities or individual entities. They just had to meet the circumstantial prerequisites to be able to get the grant out to the expectant beneficiaries. Now, Mr. Waju's suggestion, which talks about the coalition between these four people, may stem from a belief that unity among key stakeholders would actually expedite the process. In other words, it's going to create a fast track of the process. But however, this argument from him is overlooking some critical factors, which has to do with the institutional structures over individuals. Just like we said before, the grant is being managed by an NGO with defined procedures. Now, forming a coalition may not have any legal or operational impact on the disbursement timeline, no matter how much they come together. Why? Because a body is already a government body, an NGO, a non-governmental body is already having the procedures being defined. So forming another body again will not have an impact on the disbursement timeline. Then another thing to consider is also the frameworks, that is the current existing frameworks. It is likely that the internal frameworks for grant management and disbursement are already in place. The skeletal performances and frameworks are already in place. So external coalitions may actually even complicate matters rather than streamlining the process or bringing it to fast track the process. It can even complicate the process at hand. So then we look at the transparency, which we always talk about on this channel. There should be transparency in suggestions. Mr. Olariwaju's claim lacks some evidence or insight into the actual processes that are underway, which actually diminishes the credibility of that statement, because he is not privy to the inside report that is ongoing. So definitely that statement lacks some credibility, and one should not just hinge on that and begin to create unnecessary panic all over the place. Olariwaju's statement also can create unrest or false expectations among beneficiaries. So without substantial evidence or an official update from the NGO, that assertion by him, they are just what we could call mere speculations at best. And the reason why it should be ignored by expectant beneficiaries who are in long anticipation for this grant is because it is misleading. So speculations that are not rooted in fact can mislead beneficiaries, and it will cause confusion and frustration among the grant ecosystem. Another thing is that it is undermining the trust of this initiative. It will cast doubt on the ongoing process. Without an evidence, it can undermine the trust that beneficiaries have in the NGO, that's Sanctuary Wealth Now Multipurpose Foundation, and also its leadership. That besides, we know that a lot of individuals have lost confidence or trust in the process. But then we still have a lot of individuals also who still believe in the initiative and in the leadership of the County Director, Apostle Ken Nwakama. You understand? So it can distract progress. Unverified claims can divert attention of the expectant beneficiaries from the constructive engagement and the actual work that is being done to ensure that disbursement is actually being enforced. So I want to, my own piece of advice to everyone on this channel or listening to us is that beneficiaries should remain patient, calm, and also focused on verified updates from the NGO, that is from the Sanctuary World Multipurpose Foundation. Please remain patient and be focused. It is quite so essential to trust the leadership and the processes that is already in place by the County Director, Apostle Ken Nwakama, as a key figure in this struggle. Yes, and he has reassured us about his commitment to the disbursement despite the delays. While Mr. Olariwaju's statement can, we may say it stems from some genuine concern precisely, it also reflects a misunderstanding of the complexities that is involved in grant disbursement. Rather than focusing on forming coalitions, stakeholders and beneficiaries should rather prioritize transparency, patience, and also constructive dialogue with the NGO. Ignoring speculative claims that is coming from unverifiable sources right now and relying only on official updates, it's going to ensure that the dream of receiving the grant, the Sanctuary World Multipurpose Grant, is going to be a reality and not a long dream according to what he termed it to be. So I just felt it's important to address this particular key factor. There should not be panic, there should not be anarchy, there should not be dissimulation, there should not be a lack of trust or confidence in the process. What we are in for is to the finish. We are here on this battlefield to fight to the finish and to get that which pertains to us. It's not a point or a time to cause anarchy or to feel we're already weak or tired in the struggle, in the fight. We must get the disbursement according to what God has ordained and planned for all of us.